Okay, we're back with video tutorial 4 of the Silverlight 3 series, and this is part 2 of exploring the different applications of the different Silverlight applications in Expression Blend and Visual Studio. And we left off with this Silverlight navigation application. If we go ahead and run the project again, you can see what the project is all about. And this is coming from Microsoft's development Expression development server. Oh, and you got to make sure, as you can see right here, if you can see in the URL line, the address line, that it's defaulting to the it's loading the default ASPX. They give you a blank ASP.NET page to work with if you want to load, if you want to put a Silverlight project in there. And I haven't showed you how to do that, but just make sure, since that default ASPX is the default view page, what you have to do is you have to go down to either one of these test pages, either the test page ASPX or the test page HTML, and make that as your startup page. So let me go ahead and make that as a startup, and let's run it again. And here we go. We have the Silverlight navigation application. So again, we learned that this is deep linking and that you can put child pages in here. And we're going to explore, there's actually going to be a separate series on the navigation application itself. So we're not going to really go into that. Let's explore some other templates that Silverlight has. Let's go ahead and close this out. Close this project out. Close this project out in Visual Studio. And if we go to Visual Studio and we go to a new project and we look at the Silverlight business application, let's look at that right quick. You're gonna really like this. The business application is again, we're on all of these applications. We're going to have a video tutorial series on this, but I just wanted you to see this. Now you can't, of course, find this in Expression Blend, and maybe in the, well, no, that's what makes these tools unique. So again, you can't find these in Expression Blend. So in Visual Studio, if we go ahead and we open up the main page.xaml, and if we go ahead and make sure that you go ahead and you set the start page, and even if you want to, you can delete this default ASPX. But if you don't, the reason why they give this to you is because they're figuring that if you're going to set this up in a website, that either your website is going to be called default, your home page is going to be called default ASPX, so that you can go ahead and see, if you look at the default ASPX page here in the test default the business application ASPX page, see you have your Silverlight control right here, your Silverlight control host. So what you could do is take this within this forum tag and place this within this default ASPX page and load this to your website. That's the reason why they give you. So it's not there because of they just put it there just because they made a mistake. It is there for a reason. So but just make sure that you go ahead and you set either your default ASPX, not your default, but your business application test page default, .aspx, or your business application test page .html to your startup page. And I'm gonna do the HTML page as a startup page. So let me go ahead and well, I'll do the default ASPX as a startup page, set a start page, and let's go ahead and run this application, and let's see what the business application looks like. And as you can see, Microsoft has an ASP.NET development server also. So Visual Studio has an ASP.NET development page. So let's go ahead and run this. With the business application, make sure that you build the solution, and then after you build the solution, go ahead and run the application. So let's go ahead and run the application. And as you can see, it looks like the navigation application, but with one little caveat. This login right here. This is what is if you're familiar with ASP.NET, ASP.NET has a username and login application. Well, Silverlight 3 has this new functionality, and as you can see, I mean, it's super. I mean, and again, we're gonna have our own video series on this. I mean, and for those of you who up to this point have been watching these videos and have been trying to get an idea of what Silverlight is, as you can see from the regular, from the traditional username and login application websites, this is, very dynamic. This is something that is very new, and again, this is part of you can actually build this from scratch using the Silverlight control toolkit. So, but I just wanted you to see the business application, and the navigation and the business applications are probably going to be the staple of Silverlight development as far as from a business logic standpoint, and we'll even get into business logic as we go ahead. So I wanted you to see the business application, and of course you can open this up in the expression blend, so that if you want to see the visual as a designer of a graphical user interface designer, if you needed to see the design, you can open it up here in Blend, and just know that Visual Studio 2010 will have what you get XAML editor, so that you will be able to also view this in Visual Studio also. So with that, let's go ahead and explore a little bit more about Silverlight applications. What we're going to do is we're going to be looking at in part 3 of looking at the anatomy of the Silverlight application, the different aspects that make up the Silverlight application, such as the ZAP file, the client bin, the web application versus the application itself, the property, the references. We're going to be looking at all that, but I wanted to show you again, the different types of applications, so in the things that you can add to a Silverlight application. So we'll be getting into that in part 3 of this series, and again, I thank you for watching this, and look forward to video part 3 of this particular video topic.